Can we just skip game 1?
No. No, this is the point of the draft. It's draft practice, not game practice.
Alright.
Let me get
Wait.
the desktop.
It's dead.
Okay.
Desktop capture.
So some things you need to understand, Claire, is 2 of my players were puking during this.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Damn, son.
And one of my players was puking out of their mouth, not like being sick, but just like verbal diarrhea.
Oh, nice.
I have one of those players that won't shut up.
Is it psychic?
Of course it's psychic.
Yeah.
I
At this
barely know
point,
the guy.
everyone knows.
You only have to be in the Discord for like 3 seconds. You've already seen a paragraph somewhere. God.
And you already know.
Wait, wasn't it? He was the first person to respond to you in the new patch thing, right? With like a full write-up.
No, he just said it like one sentence. I was a little disappointed actually. It's kind of what I was trying to bait out.
Oh, jeez. Where is it? Ah.
Alright, okay. Should we get started?
Oh, Orf actually talked more than him. Yeah, we're good.
Alright. So we start off with... Oh. Who's GG stands for Gone? What the fuck?
FJ.
It's MJ?
FJ.
FJ. I don't know. Who's FJ? Why? Hey, shit. Did FJ
Let me in.
Alright, okay. So we start off by banning Underlord because we don't want you or Death Rocket playing it. Because Death Rocket has played a lot of Underlord, right? So we go to his recent games. If I go to Dota Buff, Death Rocket.
The reason why that's wrong is Death Rocket will never be playing 3.
Why?
Unless Jackman's missing.
Oh.
Death Rocket is playing 4 unless someone else isn't there for another role.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. So we're thinking like I was thinking like Death Rocket's gonna play like Puck or something.
Though I do think he plays 1 this game because both he and I were sick and he thought he would be better at 1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay. Death Rocket has played a lot of 1. Like a lot of 1. He was originally 1 player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's played everything because he's an old man that's played since Dota 1.
Wow.
Which isn't necessarily a good thing.
Alright, so we thought we were going to ban out Death Rocket Underlord, but we thought he was going to play 3. So the reason why, and then you ban out...
that's still a good ban, right? Because he's still like top of the win chart.
Yeah.
And really hard to deal with if you have a bad carry.
Right. One thing we could have done is baited out the Underlord pick and just gone for a Slark. Because then we can like wreck that lane.
I mean, first picks are like whatever. Or first bans, I mean. First bans is like you just like, alright, what's the shit we really don't want to play against?
Right. We don't want to play against Lardar, that's for sure. I don't understand the tree ban either. I asked Nick about this and I'm like, tree ban? And he's like, I just want to play against it. Yeah.
Mikey does have, at least on Dota Plus Overwolf thing, spam and a green on tree.
Is it there?
And we did want to pick tree.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, but there's no way for you guys to really know that. And we haven't picked tree in any other.
Yeah.
Blocked. Huge brain.
Huge brain. This man's already gaming. Next level. Most played heroes, Drow, 3 matches, Lich, Lina, Viper. Yeah, there's no tree at all. Then you found out Disruptor, which is good because Pants has played a lot of Disruptor. He's really good at it. Then we ban out Psychic Dazzle, ban out Lich, let's start out leave the Rubicon. Oh, why did you leave the Rubicon?
I didn't think it would be that big of a deal.
Okay.
Like, Rubik, yeah, you play a lot of Rubik, but
Right.
like Rubik's not a strong, like one of the ultra strong heroes right
Right.
now.
He doesn't like absolutely just destroy a lane.
And I figure you guys would first pick Rubik,
Mhm.
and I could just play Enchantress and hit you out of lane with Impetus
Yeah.
and a armor thing, but I actually can't because your Q reduces my auto attack damage to 30.
W. Yeah.
Whatever.
You should be able to. You have more move speed on him. You just have to impetus and run.
Mhm.
Can't like sustain traits.
Yeah.
Only like you just have to like play a little game with him.
So
Now that you have an Enchantress, you need a laner who can synergize well with that, right? So what synergizes well with an Enchantress? Like, do you try to focus on
So-
picking your one
I
or
don't think you
off-laning
do
hero?
that. I mean, when you first pick an Enchantress, I think your goal is to flex pick it.
Flex pick. Okay.
Usually, like you do, if you just like pick a lane straight up,
Mhm.
unless it's like a really oppressive lane that no one's figured out counters to,
Mhm.
it's like just very liable to just getting counter picked.
So right now, like in our draft, it's supposed to be either going 4 with Mars or to protect our safe lane.
Right.
Like that's what we're thinking. I'm just going to be clear. Psychic fucks up this draft by telling us to pick him Viper mid, and then decides he no longer wants to play Viper.
What? Why?
That's pretty powerful right there.
So he's just like, I'm not playing Viper mid now. So we end up with a Viper P1, and I want to kill myself.
I'm excited for this actually.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure my next pick is Viper.
I
Now
sure
you're 17th Viper, I thought.
don't need.
I don't
Next pick's gonna be Alina.
Okay.
Alright, let's continue.
Right.
Just like look up. I don't know if I love Lina. Pick.
Why not?
If you're
Like,
considering, well, you said, pause it real quick. You
Mhm.
said you're considering putting Enches 4 or 5, and then you just immediately pick like a 4 hero or 1 or what you call it, mid or 4.
I very much bank on the fact that I can send Death Rocket anywhere, and if he has a hero that can farm, he's going to be third in net worth, even as the position 4. Because that's what's happened in every single game that we've won.
he farms a lot.
And
Yeah, I actually don't understand why he's playing 4. He doesn't play 4 at all.
right,
He just plays core without the responsibility. But it
Right.
works.
it works in LD2L. It wouldn't work in anything else because
About the average skill.
typically they throw in LD2L. We're throwing our lowest MMR players on support that aren't punishing them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like these heroes are kind of the same. In the way they can get punished.
They're squishy, right? They.
They want to be really far away. 'Cause
Yeah.
They don't really have. Ench can kind of in a weird way get some tankiness, but not as a support. And I mean, it could still be 3 in this draft.
Would you have rather picked like the ogre then, or like a clockwork?
I don't actually know what else they pick. That's part of it. Like,
No,
you have
like
to be comparing it
yeah.
to something.
In like a regular draft with no comfort, like
Those don't exist, so there's like no point talking about them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And also you banned out all of Prime Goblin Mikey's hero pool.
Tree.
And we banned Lich, so I don't know why I did that. I guess I just didn't want you guys first picking it.
Yeah, it's a strong hero. Pants has played a lot. You banned out Pants' hero pool right here. The Disruptor and Lich, right? And he's
Yeah.
played both of those in the past. Okay, let me continue. So what should we be looking at to pick over here? Should we be looking at to pick like a 1 or a 3 or a 4
It's kind of
or a
up to
5?
you.
Like
You can
what's
pick almost
more?
anything.
Yeah.
I'd probably consider, like, if there's a hero that comes to mind that just like shreds the Ench and the Lina, then you just like pick that hero.
Should pick 4. Try pick top of Angelina. So like,
Like if it was my team,
yeah,
my RD2L team, I might pick like
Scrub Tiny.
a Ricky. Or I mean, assuming that like Scrubs heroes are banned, I might
Oh,
pick
right.
him Well, let's just assume I first picked a 5 or something, so I wouldn't first pick a Rubik.
Yeah.
I pick like a Ricky, or I'd pick Scrub Axe, or I'd pick Bat Rider, which forces the interest to be 5.
Axe.
And then like ban Slark and PL. But of course, that's working around my own players' pools. So like if I pick a bat here, then the Ench can't be core, she'll just lose the bot lane. And then you just have these 2 super squishy supports to abuse with like iffy lockdown.
So would you put the... So you'd put the Rubik as the 5 then?
Well, I wouldn't pick a Rubik. So
Oh, you'd pick your 5 here. Okay.
It would be a different hero. I don't know what it'd be, because you banned all 3 that I normally pick.
Right. The Disruptor, Lich...
I'd probably just have like a Techies or something.
Yeah. If Scrub can get that, Scrub will play that.
Unax is okay. I assume that's like within Kale's pool as well.
Right. So Kale's pool is the ET, Axe, and a little bit of Centaur. It's unproven yet, but could be okay. Don't know. His Slardar is not good. Because he doesn't hit people with his Slardar.
It does make it harder.
Yeah, he just hits... He doesn't even hit creeps, he just sits there and waits for the creeps to get low.
Dash charges.
Yeah. It's a little bit rough in Slardar. Yeah, so his pool is like Axe ET.
Kale's another hero that's pickable, but I guess, yeah, you guys want to pick your offlaner early, since you don't really have a pool. That's like, when people are like small hero pools, it's scary to save their pick. It's like, I don't know, let's say you save Kale for round 2, they just ban out 2 of his heroes.
Right,
Like,
okay.
Oh, F.
No one will let me play Life Stealer. Makes me sad.
Life Stealer.
He's been banned 100% of games against us.
It's pretty powerful.
Do they ban... Have you played against Wafts?
No, I'm not even worried about his team. No matter what Lofts does, he cannot carry the Mothman.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I played with Mothman the other day.
Yeah.
He and like a legend player in a rank game went like a collective 0 and 22 in lane.
Oh my god.
Nice. It's pretty powerful right there.
Alright, so ban out TA. Not sure why either. Maybe Nick doesn't want to play against TA?
TA is like a pretty solid second phase ban.
Sorry,
like
TA?
TAOD.
Yeah.
Wait, is your mid player good?
My mid player is not good.
Is it Psychic?
But like relatively speaking.
Like
it's like Death Rocket him and then you, right?
Yeah, but like if Nick didn't pick dumb shit all the time, he would win lane 100% of the time against my mid player.
Yeah, I don't know. I banned TA second phase a lot. The heroes
And
like if
Psychic plays TA and we played you guys in a scrim with TA and we beat you sub 22 minutes.
The hero is strong, especially if you aren't willing to pick it yourself.
Why is
like my mid player doesn't really like picking TA that much. I assume Nick doesn't either.
Right.
So if someone else is willing to pick it, you just ban it.
He's not very comfortable.
That's just kind of a meta thing.
Yeah.
It was just like pretty darn decent right now.
Why is it decent in particular? Because you get like a timing and snowball?
I don't even entirely know, to be honest. I just know all the mid players I know hate it or love it.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking that you can either win lane and dominate it, or you can leave lane and take stacks of jungle and come out with a Deso and blink.
I mean, that's just how the hero works.
Yeah.
You're some combination of power. You're like doing some amount of power farming every game, and sometimes you're crushing your lane too. But it feels like there's like a smaller and smaller amount of heroes that can deal with her in lane. Or maybe those heroes just aren't good.
Right, like Viper isn't a reliable pick right now, right? In general.
Like, Viper's pretty decent.
It's decent.
But For a hero like TA, you kind of need to both win the lane and then be able to invade her jungle.
Right, yeah.
She can get to a point where she just like she pushes out of the wave really quick and then just
Mhm.
runs away.
Yeah. And then just like cheese the lane, just get more farm faster.
So you need to be able to push out the wave just as fast and then follow her into the jungle, or go to your own jungle and farm and beat her with a timing.
Who,
I don't know. I don't know what hero does that.
Who does she like regularly counter in lane as a TA?
I mean, anyone that like can't avoid the refractions or is reliant on burst.
So like
So
DK?
heroes that are reliant on burst, they like can't get through the refraction.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's like Skyrath or Invoker?
Puck is the classic.
Oh, because
One.
yeah.
Invoker, I don't know. So the other heroes she's good against are slow heroes, which is kind of Invoker. Because
Right.
if you're slow, then you just get hit by the
Side blades.
The trap.
side blades. That's it. Like you just get hit by side blades because you can't move fast enough to like
Dodge it,
reposition
yeah.
yourself. She'll just reposition in a smaller radius and hit them.
Right.
So melee heroes are like okay for that reason
Okay.
because they'll just reposition themselves in front of the creep
Right.
and it won't like side blade off of it.
Mhm.
So just get hit by the normal attack instead of the
Pure damage. Yeah.
I don't really know mid matchups that well, but I think TA's picking up a lot of bans in RD2L right now. A lot of picks and bans.
Already told especially like Ahmad doesn't like playing against TA either.
Yeah. Just one of those heroes right now.
Then you start with your first ace ban. It's a PL. So immediately my mind goes to Slark. Because number one reason why you would want to ban PL is if you want to pick Slark.
I mean, if
You want to play
if you
Drow.
if you were comfortable picking your offlaner later, I would like 100% just lock in PL on where you locked in Axe.
Right.
The hero's like super first pickable, and Lina and Enchantress are not remotely good against him.
Right.
I don't know what Barrel's reasoning is, but that's like a very solid reason. I don't know. A hero like PL is weird because when a hero is meta, the specific reasons someone might want to ban it, like it doesn't like it's hard to guess because banning the hero just generically is totally viable.
Right.
Like if someone bans like an off meta hero, then you can kind of look into it and say, oh, well they're probably trying to like protect or set up or whatever. Like, you know, sort of, what do you say? You said Drow? Like, yeah, PL
Yeah.
owns Drow, but there's 100 other reasons to ban PL. So
Right.
looking into it that hard, like, you're not gonna be able to guess.
So it's like if you
Probably.
ban on like if you ban on a Bloodseeker, you're probably looking to pick like a Pango, like that kind of
Or
thing.
Slark or whatever. Like, that one's a little more niche.
Okay.
Yeah. But in my mind, I'm just actually thinking about how can I out carry you because I am not the better carry player on the team, so I
Right.
need to pick the better matchup. And in this game, Death Rocket's playing that P1 too, and I need to pick him his comfort heroes that he actually plays on P1,
Right.
which is Drow. He's
Yep.
a Drow spammer.
Right.
And Skater sent me a bunch of stuff about like different carry matchups,
Mhm.
and just like this round robin of which hard carries counter other hard carries.
Right.
So like, and it's kind of like this triangle of Drow beats PL,
Right.
beats Lifestealer, beats Drow, stuff like that.
Other way around. But
Whatever.
yeah. Is PL beats Drow, Drow beats Lifestealer, I guess. Does Lifestealer beat PL because of Maelstrom or Mjolnir?
No,
No one
so
beats PL,
that's-
he's just less bad.
that's
Okay.
a natural thing, but yeah, you just kind of rage and you smack them.
You have built-in BKB and evasion, so
Right.
you won't get what you called it,
Destroyed.
mana burned for a little bit.
Okay, for
And
defusal.
then you just buy a fast Mjolnir. The Mjolnir is a large part of it.
Yeah.
Also, you
And
can like outpace him with Armlet Death. So I don't know. It's not even like a good matchup. It's just one of the not bad matchups.
Okay.
yeah,
Like I don't think there are any P1s that are specifically good against PL. It's kind of on your other heroes. You just have a faster timing. and have some AoE spells. Like, I think even like, I guess maybe Mag, but the AoE scaling heroes, like the AoE right click heroes, don't outscale PL very
Right.
well. It feels.
I need to add mag to this. Okay. Who would do? Yeah, pretty much like the meta heroes are PL, Lifestealer, Jug, Slark, and Wraith King is not in the meta. Troll has come up because of Slartar, right?
Probably.
Yeah, Troll can secure the last hits against them by
Yeah.
pressing whirling axes.
Right.
He wins lane, which is weird.
Alright, I'll go ahead. And then we ban out Lifestealer, I think, over here. Yeah, Lifestealer, and then you ban out Pugna because it's scared of because Nick Pugna kind of owns.
Yep.
Okay.
Can't argue with that logic.
He loves that gooey green goblin. As soon as he locks him in, he knows it's all to himself.
So what are if I were Shane's team, what would I look to pick? I'd probably look to pick your offlaner here because you want to see but you already know our offlane matchup, right?
Yeah, so I would prioritize picking my carry here because I
Yeah.
know my matchup.
Right. So if you were going to pick a carry, there's no PL, there's no Lifestealer. What would you want to pick?
I want to pick Drow,
Right.
like, but I think like my drafting environment needs me to unplug my headset. So I start picking dumb shit.
Yeah. I like Jarlino. Jarlino's good.
Like I'm pretty sure this pick takes most of our time.
Right. Yeah.
YOLO Mars.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so like someone, I'm not gonna tell you who, is just like yelling.
Definitely. I think as a drafter in a league like this, like half the issue is being able to balance out your team. It's like it's very hard to go into a draft solo and draft alone.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like there's usually gonna be at least one teammate that's just like counterproductive.
I
Or
have
maybe
two
not
of
even all the
those.
time. Sometimes you have someone that's like useful sometimes, but sometimes you just like need them to not talk.
Sometimes
like,
you have
balance
someone that
it out.
says things like "pick me mid silencer," and I say things like, "You have 8 silencer games in your 5 years of Dota," and he's just like, "No, trust me, pick it." And so I do, and then we get 2-0'd.
It's like a lot of balancing out like what people want
Mm-hmm.
and what's intelligent.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, fuck what they want. I'm not listening to any of them anymore.
It depends. Some people are more reasonable. I like
Yeah.
it when people give me multiple options. Like, hey, give me this hero, and I'm like, I don't want to pick that hero. Give me more options. Like,
Yeah.
talk it over. People that just say, give me this one hero and won't get off of
No.
it, can
Yeah.
go fuck themselves.
They
I'll
lose TI
server mute you.
and are named Weeha.
Wait. No, the True Sight is not it's not a full coverage of what's going on. I don't believe that she'll. I'm a controversial
The
viewer.
losers are always put on blast. It's all skewed.
Alright, so you get the Mars pick, you get the Jackman pick.
Yeah,
You want to go
Jack-
with the go ahead.
Jackman Mars, good.
Jackman Mars very good. He knows that hero well.
It's one of his 2 heroes.
What is it?
Powerful.
What's his other hero other than Mars?
Sand King.
Oh my
He
god, I
plays
remember
Sand
that.
King like the pre-TI Sand King.
I remember that. It is
Thank
very
you,
annoying.
change over TI.
He's been nerfed, so playing him that way shouldn't work.
What did they change? Wait, what's changed
been-
about the way you play him?
Not the way that you play him, it's just the way that you play him is his numbers are lower.
Huh?
You just lane him the exact
Do you
same
change
way.
like the build?
I don't think the play or the build has changed at all.
Yeah.
You're just less effective.
But so
Well,
you're the
what-
same hero but with lower numbers. Exactly lower numbers. And the
Like you
change
can't change anything about
Yeah.
that. You still have to play the exact same way.
the change to that item that used to lower magic resistance, but doesn't anymore. Was a big change.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's like it's weaker now. You can't get a bunch of armor from the side shop, and it gives less damage buff. But like the build and the way you play is still exactly the same. You just brown
Right.
boots Veil and run at people. Get blink.
Does Veil do spell damage now instead of magic
Yes,
lower?
spell
Okay.
damage.
Okay, that's different. All right, so
Whatever.
we see the Mars. We need to
I
pick
definitely
a
just pick a carry there.
right here at
With XD. No, if I was Barrel
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
instead of Mars, he's
Which one is
being
this?
debated.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Whatever carry you want to play into
16.
Axe.
So at 16 we have to we see that our offlane duo, we can pick a carry here. I don't remember what we pick, but generally I want to pick a carry here because I see their offlane.
Well, you can also, I mean, the exact same logic applies to the 5 hero. You see the offlane duo, you can pick the 5 hero that lanes well against them. The support is just as much a part of the lane as the carry is,
Right.
if not more so sometimes.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's up to you. If you have a carry you really want. So, like, you picked Slark, I think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would have just picked the 5 and held the Slark. Because if you pick Slark, they can just insta-pick Bloodseeker, and I think your Slark game is completely ruined.
But could they pick oh, but then if they pick Slark then we can pick the Bloodseeker right after. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. So it's better like if you already know their offlaner, you can pick like the 5 and then wait for the
Yeah, like in this situation,
carry.
I definitely would.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pick a Viper instead, though, which I don't think really does much to Slark. Can I actually break him if he jumps on you? That's kind of annoying.
Mhm.
But, like, whatever. Just leap away.
So I watched these videos called the captain's log,
Oh, yeah.
and where this guy said that like picking at 18 is really powerful, and you should pick your mid matchup here because then you can ban out, you know, whatever is going to go
Avoid
against
getting
it.
banned out.
No, you pick at 18 and then you ban who you don't want to lane against.
Well, you can do that either way, but you avoid getting banned out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I pick my mid hero here.
That's the 17th
Wait.
slot, not the 18th.
I figured it was like kind of the same thing.
No, they're not the same
no.
thing.
The reason why is because you have an answer over here, which is can't get banned out.
Well, anyway, I have
Oh, they're
picked my
very much
mid
not the
hero.
same. I take no blame for this.
You
You definitely, when you have last pick, you just take the mid last as much as you can, unless you like have a mid that you like pick really early for some reason. The
So
thing
two
with
things-
18 is that the enemy team has no picks between 18 and 21. They only have a ban. So you're just like they don't have a way to counter you between 18 and 21. There's no pick there, but they could ban the hero you want to pick.
But anyway, I'm trying to do this.
Totally different.
I'm sick. My mid player is yelling at me to pick Viper, and
Let's see.
then
Why
I
does
picked
he want Viper here?
and then he's like, oh, I can play Viper, I can power farm, and I'm good against 2 of their heroes.
Stop listening to this guy.
I told you what my plan is.
Alright, so I see the Viper. I'm looking.
It's okay. It's like,
That's okay. We're
we're
smart.
basically counterpicking an X instead of just like counterpicking the lane.
I'm looking.
Whatever.
I'm looking for like my 5 here. So we see the N, Shalina, Mars. There's not really many 5s remaining.
Yeah.
So we picked
Might
the
as well
Elder
take it
Titan.
before it gets banned.
Yeah.
Whatever 5 that is.
Greg was very surprised by this pick.
I'm kind of surprised by this pick.
It's a dumb pick.
Why?
Is this good against any of their heroes?
The reasoning was that it's not about the natural order, but more about the like sleep in the Mars pit.
I was thinking the lane.
Oh, the
I
lane.
mean, it's
yeah.
good at fighting. The
Yeah.
laning is like... I could go 50-50, I guess.
Mhm.
You can get on top of Lena and punch her, you're happy.
Mhm.
Alternatively, you just get speared away, and then LC. I don't know. I think it's good to pick around mid-game fighting.
Mhm.
I think most LD2L games come down to the mid-game fight.
Right. Well, like what? If I had a different option, should I have picked like maybe the Venge instead? Get
Venge
it
is
more.
pretty
Wyvern.
good. I never trust people with Wyvern. The hero's too easy to grief with, I think. It's like a weak laner that has an ult that could potentially screw people over.
Yeah, mana pool is very small.
And an E that can screw people over.
Mhm.
It's like it's a double-edged blade if you don't already trust the person to play it.
We could go Disruptor's band, Lich's band. I feel like the Venge is probably the best option.
Yeah. Venge is pretty solid.
Yeah. Maybe we can go
Or if
crazy.
you want, like,
Yeah.
If you want big counter engage, you can always pick Warlock.
Put it inside the pit. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if they run in and fight you, your Warlock just turns around, hits QR,
Mhm.
then you just fight them back.
I feel like
If you're looking for
yeah,
counter engage.
Right. QR, and then just make sure, like, if they keep fighting, they're going to keep getting hit, and they all die.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
At a very minimum, you like interrupt them, so you drop a big ol' stun on everyone, so your team kind of has time to react.
Mhm.
You potentially cancel like stun chains.
Venge would be really good. So
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
if the Elder Titan worked, I mean it worked.
It did not work that well.
Okay.
Pants kept getting caught out.
The reason
It's
they
hard
end
to
up winning
play.
this match is because my mid player uses Death Prophet
Exorcism,
ultimate.
and he just
Exorcism.
runs around, not hitting a building. It
He
was
stands
amazing.
in the base, not next to any heroes or buildings. Then immediately after, uses Exorcism and tries to do a backdoor tower with it by himself.
This guy's good.
And then he steals the Aegis from our P1 player and goes into their base, uses Exorcism, and doesn't hit anything. Dies, goes back to life, uses Refresher Orb, and stands there, not hitting anything again with his Exorcism.
Alright, so we can't really talk about that. Probably going to ignore that. So because I remember that very, very well. You ban out the sniper at 20, and then so immediately we were looking for like something that that can like go around. So like an OD is pretty good. The issue is Nick doesn't play OD at all. He doesn't play TA. He doesn't play OD. Does OD get wrecked in lane by Viper?
I don't think so, but I don't know mid matchups.
Right. With the change to like Aether Lens, OD, Aether Lens Ags, I think he's pretty good. Or he's
I
pretty
don't
like
know how many
okay.
people go Aether Lens, but you could, yeah.
Yeah. They
I
rush
just-
like either rush Ags or Aether Lens, I guess.
No, I think it's mostly what I see is rush Ags or go like the old school build.
Mhm.
But some people do Aether Lens then Ags,
This is
or
good.
vice versa.
So I'm looking for like an OD or a Storm over here.
I think more than anything. Well, I mean, how many heroes beat Viper mid or can survive the lane? I think it's when you have a Viper, that's kind of the question. What heroes survive this lane?
Right.
That's like a large portion of what makes him annoying. Is that he makes a lot of mid heroes just very hard to play. So you have to play them from a disadvantage.
Who can stay against that? Kunkka, I guess?
No.
Yeah.
Any melee hero I think is pretty bad. And Conk is probably doable if you're good at it, but any melee hero is like a hard time.
So
Kunkka can at least just sit back and W.
Drayden says if they pick Viper, he just picks Zeus. But I think that's just because he only plays 2 heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Viper and Zeus. And I'd probably consider a Wind Ranger, considering there's already like, what was it, Angelina?
Angelina, right?
Mars
Well,
is kind of annoying.
Robbie, if you want to give me notes about my bad draft, we'll take them. I gotta go to bed.
Alright, okay. Good night, Shane.
I...
See ya.
Clinks is like decent against him.
Why would Clinks be okay here? Because like he doesn't get caught out?
I mean, he just annihilates like half these heroes, like everyone but Mars.
Right.
Like Wind Ranger, Clinks, they're kind of the same idea. They do
Right.
fine in lane,
Yeah.
and then they just Viper, Lina, and Enchantress are potentially very squishy.
Mm-hmm.
So Viper has some magic resist and can build a little tanky, and Enchantress has her slow, her attack slow.
Yeah.
But like none of them have any armor,
Right.
and their health pools are anywhere from bad to mediocre. And so heroes that just like have Wind Ranger gets a ton of attack speed.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't care about the slow.
Nope.
Clinks just has such insane physical damage and a bunch of extra attack speed. He kills all 3 of those heroes with extreme ease.
Clinks
I think that's what I'd be thinking of.
Yeah.
But my mid player is also like super into Clinks, which makes it easier to just pick a hero like that.
Yep, Amada's too.
Perfect.
Whenever Amada wants to play mid, he's always hovering over that Clinks pick. Every single time. And we always lose with it. It sucks.
So I think it's one of those like high fizz damage ranged heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Arc Warden.
I like Arc Warden, actually.
Like, but they do have what you assume to be. We'll assume this draft is like intentional hero from Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
We assume there's a carry pick.
Yeah.
A lot of carries are pretty good against Arc Warden.
Right.
Because they're all the heroes that like get on top of him and do physical damage. So that one's a little risky if you aren't like good at Arc Warden. But
we already have like 3 heroes that like can that can get on top of him, right? Like Lifestealer, Slark, and PL are already are like picture banned. I guess like Jug,
almost any of them though.
Jug, Bloodseeker,
PA, Jug,
PA,
Monkey King, Ursa, Ricky. It's like almost every carry in the game. Like some of them are better than others in terms of like meta-ness.
Right.
But like pretty much almost every carry in the game has some form of like mobility spell. Void, AM, PA.
Right.
Abyssal Blade on any of these heroes, Monkey King.
They just like get on top of.
They just get on top of them and beat them up.
Okay, that makes sense. I think we pick the Storm here, and then they pick the DP.
Storm's fine too. I'd be afraid of the lane personally.
Why?
Against Viper. Storm's like basically a melee hero. Like in every way except physical. He's a melee hero.
Storm is susceptible to.
I'd check with someone else on that. But...
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's people that can harass him.
Okay.
Because what Storm does a couple things in lane.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, his attack range I think is slightly below average.
Right.
But what he does is he walks on top of you with his Remnant, and he pops Remnant, and he like auto attacks, and he blows up the wave, and if you're near it, you take a bunch of damage. And once he hits level 3, he tries to kill you with his Vortex. If you're a long range hero with a lot of harass, like Lina is a classic, Quap, Viper, I think all of them kind of just sit back and right click him.
Yeah. They're like not in range to be vortexed.
Yeah, they aren't in range to be vortex. They aren't in range for the AoE damage.
Yeah.
They just harass them a ton. If you want to know what's good and bad against Storm, though, I'd just ask Greg.
Right. Yeah. He's played a lot of Storm. A lot of Storm.
I'm pretty sure Viper does quite well against Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Win rate wise, he definitely does bad against Storm.
Okay.
Or Storm does bad against him, I mean.
So we're looking at the mid Death Prophet, 1 Viper, and then we have this. We have like a general draft with like the glaring Elder Titan, but like when you look at a draft, what's the win condition? Because I really don't understand win conditions. So my win condition is to get Nick his BKB as fast as possible. And
I mean, the thing with this draft, I think it's a little hard for like Storm. Kind of can only jump the backline.
Right.
Viper and not so. Viper's hard to kill as Storm because he does have that extra magic resist.
Mm-hmm.
Mars is a little hard. DP like Viper and DP both build pretty tanky. Mars builds pretty tanky. Like these aren't cores that are easy pickoffs unless you're like very ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't get very ahead because you should lose this lane for
Right.
Viper. Does he lose lane or?
He loses lane to Death Prophet.
Or I guess it's a fucking DP, which you should also lose lane to.
Yeah.
That's
He
another
loses really
hero.
hard.
Yeah, because she just gets on, like she uses her E and right clicks you.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad. Which is why I don't really like the Storm.
Mhm.
You can kill Lina and Ench, and they do lack lockdown.
Yeah. So
I-
yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people focus on the lack of lockdown, and it is important, but I think it is kind of two parts with Storm.
Mhm.
They can't. You want to pick it into low lockdown, but you also need to actually be able to kill people.
Right.
And if they're all really tanky, you're not killing them.
Right, because there's no like damage. Your damage doesn't scale as Storm. It's mostly just
I
like
think scales, but you want to burst someone down.
Yeah.
If they can survive the burst, it's awkward.
right
Because your
because they're
DPS
not,
is
yeah.
your burst is a lot better than your DPS.
Right.
After the initial jump, getting DPS costs a lot of mana. The first jump is like the most mana efficient damage you're gonna do,
Okay. From the
and
lightning?
without mana you do no damage. So
Okay. Yeah.
it's awkward when you can't burst them very well.
So
Which you know,
yeah.
like if you saw this lineup,
Right.
like if you saw Mars and you knew it wasn't Viper, like let's just say for somehow you knew Viper was safe lane,
Yeah.
and whoever was mid was like an easy lane,
Yeah.
then like sure maybe it's fine because you can just get so farmed that you're able, like you're just really big and you can burst them anyway. So you get like a super fast Orchid Bloodstone or whatever, Bloodstone Orchid, and then they have no lockdown and you're bursting them despite them being hard to kill because you're just super ahead. But
Like so
there was no chance
yeah.
he was going to be ahead this game.
Okay. So like in that case when you see at least like the Mars Viper and you're trying to pick your 21 mid hero and you know they're not going to get bursted down, but these two can get bursted down. Then
Not by Storm anyway.
yeah.
Clinks will burst a Viper down.
Right.
Not so much Mars. It's like the reverse, right?
Yeah.
Because Viper kind of okay against magic damage, Mars okay against right clicks. So Mars dies to Storm easier
Right.
and Clinks less. But I mean, part of it is that mid matchup. You really don't want to pick a losing matchup if you can avoid it. For mid, it's like too big of a deal.
Mhm.
So I would have like if he plays Clinks, I would have loved a Clinks pick here.
Okay. Yeah. I think he does like playing Clinks as well, like decently amount.
There's a little bit of like Mars and Lena. If you do make a mistake, could burst you down.
Right.
But, like just kill Lena XD.
One thing I always look for is someone who can like frontline, because in a lot of games that I see, there's always like one person who, like one hero who's just there in the fight, soaking all of the attention, and then the rest of the team is supporting and making sure that they can like continue the fight behind them. That's what that's what Lotus's team does a lot, right? Just get Lotus on a big tanky hero, put him in front, make sure everyone focuses on him, and he just survives and moves on.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, as pretty much in most of his games, even during last season as well. Lotus is pretty much the first one to go in, and even if he's not the first one to go in, when he TBs in, he moves immediately to the front, soaks up all the attention, makes him, and then everyone just dies because they can't really burst him down. So I look to like try to emulate that in a sense, but it's really hard with like Kale because he's not aggressive. Coutinho doesn't like playing those kind of like attention soakers, and Nick likes to farm a bit.
It is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the thing with your offlane is that if you have an initiator,
Yeah.
then they can't really be a frontliner and an initiator.
Right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
The biggest thing to have a frontline is to have save supports.
Mhm.
Like a lot of pause ones can be decent, like frontline,
Right.
but they also can't afford to get bursted, like jump bursted and died. I did it. Like if you're against this team and they get like a Lena, like let's say they get like Mars ult, Spear, Lena LSA, Lena ult,
Mhm.
Viper damage, like you cannot save them. You have no saves. Even if you had like a better frontliner, like a LS instead of a Slark,
Mhm.
you have no way to save them.
Right.
So it's really hard to do that frontline shit without saves, I think.
Yeah. It is.
I think this draft isn't bad for that, because they want to be in
Aggressive.
the front. Like they want to have the Death Prophet. They have frontliners.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of jump and burst, and they have no save.
Yeah.
So if they try and frontline with like a DP, in theory, you just like
Get run
jump on
over.
her and blow her up.
Yeah.
Drop like Elder Titan ult, Storm Zip, Axe Call, whatever. They just die, and now their frontliners just instantly disappeared.
that's like generally what happened in most of the fight. So the DP's ahead, she's tanking all the attention, and then everyone else is like where is DP?
I almost feel bad.
Yeah, everyone else is like around, surrounding the DP ish.
Mm-hmm.
She gets like a couple of soul kills mid. Nick dies, Solo dies, and then Nick dies again, I think, over here.
F.
F. Dies. We try going on her, we die again.
That's a hero that's very difficult to gank. Just cast her E twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she hasn't maxed it, which is interesting.
Yeah, they go bot, they get this tower.
Oh, his DP pick was quite good. If only they didn't have a Viper. Like, if I think that they just picked Bloodseeker instead,
Yeah.
and then still picked the DP, that would have been a very solid team.
We
Or
just like, yeah.
any carry, actually.
Other than a Viper. Something that actually like does something other than Viper just right clicks.
Attempted mid pick.
So we try to avoid the DP as much as possible.
It's understandable. The team split pushes pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, like, all 5 of your heroes can kind of just go split push when they push mid. That's awkward.
Yeah, we take a tower, kind of. The creeps take a tower for us.
Perfect.
T, she's mid, push up mid, goes bottom. So we're kind of pressuring, but I think she dies here.
That's the big burst. Oh, I didn't even use Elder Titan ult and killed her. Yeah, it's like hard to be a DP frontlining this game.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Dies again.
Yeah. This guy needs to just back off and farm his item. It's like suiciding into the tower. Go for TP top instead.
Yeah, so now it's next game that's getting focused on because top net worth, he overtakes the DP. He's going Hex right now, I think. It's very questionable. He does this a lot with his heroes, where he gets one item right before Hex, one luxury item right before, BKB.
I've noticed he goes for the... tries to play around having a defensive item.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always BKB, but...
Should he have gotten BKB here instead? Like, or is he okay with going Hex? Like, what item timing is he missing?
I don't like Hex. I don't think. Like, I don't know why you get Hex instead of Orchid.
Mm-hmm. Orchid would be really good.
I mean, I guess they already have a Yules. Do they have 2 Yules? That's a decent reason, I guess. Wow, this one... it's changed very quickly.
I think we die here, all of us.
That's not good.
doing his job. Got Selena. Goes away.
I think it's the run back and forth game
No, that's the second one.
across the map. It's happening so far. Kind of bad.
Sure.
This is definitely run back and forth, overstay your welcome game. Well, you guys get out this time. All you really need to do is like not mess it up once.
So
And get one step ahead.
when we're like at that point I wanted to go Roche, but Nick wanted to go for mid. Which we get the racks for. Which I think is probably okay. But then after this, when we get a big team fight again, I think we go straight for the end push instead of going for Roche again.
That's silly. Because Nick's on dieback or on buyback right now, right?
Yeah, he's on buyback.
Pick off into Aegis. Very nice. This is
Kill.
definitely when you just go Roche.
Yeah,
go
he
Roche and
goes.
push top.
He wants to go mid. He wants to end right now.
I mean, DP don't buy like died backs, but
Mhm.
I don't believe in you guys to have the tower push. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a risky play.
Yeah.
It's...
The issue I have is like because I always go for the ultra safe play.
It goes for the ultra risky play.
Yeah, and
Like
we
balance.
we never seem to agree on what to do at the later stages of the game. I try to ask Coutinho because he has more of a idea of what he wants to do. But sometimes Coutinho doesn't know what to do either. So I guess, yeah. I feel like that's a very glaring issue with me, like knowing when other people are not strong, when I'm strong.
You just have to like play core,
Yeah.
unironically.
Right.
'Cause you don't know how any of that stuff works. I don't know.
Mhm. Because like relative to me, everyone is very strong, and the supports are very weak. Like that's all that goes through my head. The only time I think someone is not strong is when they don't have BKB, and that's a very different than what cores feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shot calling is usually going to be kind of a group effort
Mhm. Yeah.
in these leagues, at least.
All right. Farm out. 20k ahead. So at this point, should we like group up, go Roche, and then push?
To be honest, I have like 240p, so I can barely tell what's happening.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I have terrible internet, so I just can't watch streams very well. I
what should I
mean,
do?
you have like double defensive items on Storm. I mean, with your team, you definitely go for a pick off. That's like your only play.
Okay.
You don't
Yeah.
succeed, and you don't take Roche very quickly.
So
You need to pick off
yeah.
into something.
So do we go like pick off into Roche, or like if we see
Pick
that the
off into
wave is
what's ever relevant. Probably Roche. Maybe it gets like really wild and they buy back and die, like you just go for Rex or the end.
Mhm.
But probably Roche. Pick off into Roche.
Yeah.
Pick off into Roche, do another pick off. Hopefully a team fight. And you have the added benefit is that you also scale better than them.
Right.
So if they try and play super safe and get out farmed, they're gonna lose the game horribly. They can't just like AFK in base.
All right. We kill them. Start running straight for.
Yeah,
Ignore-
I'm playing this Roche right now.
Yeah.
Or take top Rex, that's viable. Oh, they just feed you like that. Then hey, they lose. Now it's 3v5. Should have been 4v5. Even then, I think you hit top ranks.
Mhm.
So, like, their team, like, generally speaking, most games, Megas is pretty game winning.
Right.
Their team, they can do nothing against Megas. They absolutely just lose the game.
Okay. Why is that?
Like-
Because like they don't have wave clear?
They don't have good wave clear. Like, the thing with nuking wave clear against Mega Creeps is that it's just not enough damage. You need, like, scaled wave clear.
Mhm.
So you essentially end the game, assuming it happens here, by just like banging your head against the wall.
Yeah,
Till
exactly.
it breaks.
Head bonk. Just literally just head bonk every single
Which
time.
is like, if you're winning the fights, which you were, like you weren't getting the objective, but you were winning the fights, and you scale better, then like it works. But, I mean, yeah, like going for racks each time instead, or getting Roches,
Yeah.
is like the objectively correct play, I think.
Right. Rather than just like head bonking into they don't have
Right, 'cause,
buyback,
like,
so
if you try and do that with a lineup that isn't scaling as well,
Mhm.
or is losing those fights a little harder, because like you know, you weren't getting the ancient, you weren't getting the objective,
Right.
but you were, I assume, getting a gold advantage off those fights because you'd kind of get some kills, feed a support or two, and back off.
Yeah.
And the cores are mostly surviving, and they were using some buybacks from time to time.
Right.
But
There are points where
Yeah.
like it dangerously gets close to throws. Like at this point, this point, this point.
yeah, if you screw up and you die without buyback, or you have a lineup that just scales worse, and then all of a sudden you aren't winning the fights anymore,
Yeah.
and the game's over, it's just not as efficient.
Right.
Like, you maintain your lead a lot better when you play a safer game.
But we had like a lead throughout the game. It was just like trying to make use of it more rather than trying to gamble it. That does make sense. Okay. Game 2, we'll go over draft and then we can call it a night, I guess.
Sure.
Bring up the match. Replays, match ID. This was a game that went. They go to our ancient, we go to their ancient. They go to our ancient, we go to their ancient, and it's back and forth and back and forth. All right, they bound out Rubik, we bound out Warlock.
And you're down. Yeah, you're down Gambino, right?
Yeah, Gambino is had to go for basketball, and our first game went very very late.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Kale is playing 1, Pants is playing off lane, Ryan's playing 5, I'm playing 4, Nick's playing 2. Right, band wise, we ban out Melchior Warlock, we ban out Psychic Invoker, ban out the Lich, they ban out Rubik, Disruptor, Slaughter, standard bans, nothing much there. And then they don't ban out Snapfire, so we pick that. Then they pick 8-9 Venge Dazzle. This doesn't occur to me that literally one of the biggest combos with Venge is Venge Drow, and I did not realize that. I should have banned out the Drow right after, immediately. They could have picked Drow at probably, no, they couldn't have, because they didn't ban out PL. But still, like,
I mean, once again, this is a game where, like, the supports suck against PL, and I'd totally consider just picking it.
right here, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any, like, glaring issues with PL with core counters? Like, Viper, Underlord, and...
Underlord's a pretty annoying one. I
Yeah.
mean, heroes that bring AoE damage and then end the game before he can get online.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, I think, for the most. Like I guess there's a couple specific ones, like Ember Mag, are pretty rough at all like at a lot of many stages of the game.
Right.
But the biggest ones, it's kind of a mix of the hero and team play. Like you want to bring early AoE damage so he can't fight without multiple items, and then end the game before he gets those multiple items.
Right.
So like Lesh is pretty good for that if you can play it correctly. Like if you go late against PL as Lesh, you will just still probably not do anything and die.
Right.
The idea is that you have this AoE that forces him to AFK farm, and then you run down towers. And you know, before he can get online, you've won the game. But it's kind of hard to do in LD2L, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, because you're not
it
like
depends, but
that execution isn't like as crisp and as like clean.
Right,
It's
and I
very
think that's why
messy.
PL's. I think anyway. I think he's more popular in like RD2L than he is in Pro. I could be wrong. 'Cause I don't really keep that much attention on Pro.
Is it because like it's hard to like what's it called, cleanly execute against a PL?
Well, it's just hard to cleanly execute in general when you're
Yeah.
not good at the game.
Right.
So the higher the skill level, the easier those are to pull off.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, in Pro Dota, you sometimes see it's like, oh, they've lost every lane and they just instantly lose the game. And you see like an RD2L game or an LD2L game where they're like 10k behind to 8 minutes and they win anyway because they just hold high ground. This execution is hard.
But can't deal with PL. Pick PL first phase, and then protect
It's
it,
up
right?
to you though. We kind of talked about like the first phase thing earlier.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. Sometimes you're in a position where you just don't want to first phase your pause one because he's too big of a win condition as a player,
Right.
and that's fine. Especially if he isn't like a huge PL fan. But I think that hero is very, in general, very first phaseable right now.
Yeah, he is. I like him a lot. Before it was the Drow that was very first phaseable, right? You could just pick Drow and eventually win the game.
Yeah, that's definitely been a thing.
Yeah.
One too many times.
So we pick Underlord. Pants wanted to play Underlord. We asked him what his comfortable threes are. He wasn't really comfortable with Axe or what was the other one? Slardar. So, Slardar's already banned. We asked him for Axe. Yeah, I think we just focused on the Underlord, and he said he can play it. Ban out the Lifestealer. I wanted to ban out the Slark immediately because, one, I think they banned PL over here. Yeah, they banned PL. So number one thing that comes to mind is I want to ban out Slark because the Slark does extremely well against Underlord in lane, right? Like decently good.
I think so.
Yeah.
Slark just kind of likes big fleshy heroes you can hit and gain a bunch of stacks.
Right. Underlord can like cheese the lane by like pushing out the wave and pulling. So I think he does okay. But it's still really hard for him to play around a Slark in the game.
I would think with Snap it would be okay. Because there's just too much damage. Like if he walks into an Underlord queue and then he gets shotgunned and potentially cookied, it's just too much damage for him to deal with. He has to hit the Underlord quite a few times to get to a point where he's like happy trading with him. Because for those first few hits, he's just getting chunked by the like plus 40 damage or whatever the Underlord's wielding and all the AoE. So maybe. I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight the Duro was a problem, but definitely doesn't like heroes that can kite him around. Because unlike a hero like an Axe or a Centaur or whatever that has the potential to like blink on them, Underlord is really one-dimensional in that he just wants to tank up and run down lanes.
Right.
And I know they pick an OD, which is like one of the worst heroes for Underlord to play against.
Yeah, it is. Would you have like considered
Slark
banning
and Dro combined?
Would like banning out OD at what is this ban? I forget.
Personally,
10, 11, 12, 13.
Against teams I'm playing against, if I picked an Underlord this early, I'd probably be considering an OD ban already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it does depend on the players.
really well against.
You know most of the LD2L teams, they have
Mhm.
like big mid laners that are scary.
Yeah.
So
ET, BTM, BBTM, Sev.
and those two. What the? JK.
Considering banning them in the second phase. Okay. I know like Potato likes playing Underlord a bit. He doesn't like it that well, but he thinks he does like he thinks it's okay. Even though he
Yeah, it's
absolutely
a little
destroys.
annoying.
Yeah.
Because if you like want to carry and you get countered,
Yeah.
kind of forced to do a utility role. Scrub is that too, right? He plays heroes that he wants to carry on.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you get countered, you just have to play it like utility, and he just hates doing that. Which is fair.
Then again,
Not really why he plays the heroes.
I played with Scrub Axe before, and all he wants to do is just goon. He goes like Axe, Veil Axe.
Yeah. It's just solo kill people.
It's so much fun.
Powerful.
Yeah, so I banned out the Slark because I don't want the Slark playing against my Underlord, especially with the newer Underlord like Pants. They banned out Nick Storm. I think they picked Drow here, I think, and yeah. And I asked Ryan what he wants to play, new couch day, and he says like, give me the Jakiro. I'm like, yeah, sure. It's decent against both of them. He's not really in danger of being gone on by the Drow Revenge.
You deal with this like really awkward situation already though,
Mm-hmm.
where you have 3 heroes that do not jump at all. They're either Jakiro and Snap are very, very backliney, long range backline heroes, and Underlord's like a get up in your face frontline hero, but without any gap close. So you have 0 gap close for the Dro. That's the word I'm looking for. Gap close. The Dro is free to exist right now.
Yeah. Right when the draft ends, like during strategy time, I start telling Pants that he probably needs to go blink, just to like get on top of the Drow Ranger.
On Underlord?
Yeah.
It's a little awkward.
It's a little awkward, but I don't think we had many ways to get on top
We'll
of
see what else you pick.
Yeah.
I think there's something that comes up.
I think they pick... I forgot what they picked here. They picked the offlaner? Yeah, it was a Sand King, I think? It was a Sand King, yeah. They picked Sand King here. And then we pick Naga. Nick wants to play Naga.
Yeah, so I think this is the hero that gets the blink.
The Naga
you get
Siren? Okay.
You song blink onto Dro, and all 4 of you run over. You can like set up with Ice Path.
Oh, okay. So you blink on Naga, get the root off. If she mantas, then you have the Ice Path anyway.
Well, you blink in with Song. So you Song Blink. Song Blink is like a thing you can do on Naga.
Okay.
Against heroes that's like Dro Sniper. So you get like your normal items, and then at some point you have to get a blink as well. Like around the time you're ready to fight, you buy a blink. Get on top of Dro, and you just so happen to have Jakiro as well this game. So you can Ice Path Song End combo if you can pull it off. But otherwise you just like surround her and drop things. It's awkward because they have 2 saves already though.
Right.
They have 2 saves and they have decent counter engage with Sand King if he isn't also in the song.
Right, because he can just like Burrow Strike and then Sandstorm Epicenter.
So they can like save the Dro, and then you're all grouped up around where the Dro was.
Right.
He's channeled his ult, blinks in, stuns.
That has happened.
Very awkward.
That happened, I think, once in the game, where we're songed, and then Sand King gets a counter initiation, and we're just like, what do we do now? And everyone's just like running around trying to figure out what to do. In the meantime. Alright,
Yeah, and what heroes can you pick? I would definitely lean towards a hero that can jump Dro. You said this was Nick's hero? Mid?
Nick plays, yeah. Nick wanted to play this. Kale does not play Naga.
And that's right, because Gambino's gone. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want Nick on a jumping hero.
Would you go, like, maybe, Ricky, I guess?
Ricky is doable. I mean, you could do, like, Ricky's... Wait, what was their offlane again?
Sand King.
Sand King? It's not the best, I guess. You could even do, like, Monkey, I think.
Oh,
maybe. That's
okay.
a little... I guess against Vengeance a little rough. You can just win the lane with a single piece of detection, though, and you can kind of jump Dro. In for mid, what does he play? Does he play like Void Spirit at all, or?
For Nick?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's kind of, with Gambino gone, the game
Mhm.
is kind of on Nick.
Yeah, it is. I don't think he played like 1 or 2 games of White Spirit. He hasn't played more than that. It's the same with TAOD. He's played like a couple of games, but not enough to understand what items to get and how to deviate from those items.
And is Storm banned?
Storm is banned.
Yeah, I guess they banned it with Victro, which is smart. PL and Storm, those are definitely like the best go-tos.
Yeah.
Those are good second. And the PL, the order is important here too. Because the PL doesn't give anything away,
Right.
really. It could be banned for a multitude of reasons. If you saw Storm, like if you saw the PL, let's say like the picks were reversed or whatever.
Yeah.
And you saw them ban PL and Storm,
Yeah.
and you had a ban remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would definitely be, especially if you see Venge, like that should be there. You can get like no more red flags than that. That they're probably gonna pick like a Dro.
Okay.
Or maybe a Sniper.
C Venge, Think Trow. C
Right.
PL.
Well, they're like banning. They're picking these good Drow combos, and then they're banning the heroes that get on top of Dro.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it could be like I said, a Sniper as well. Maybe is another one, but
Yeah. So what ends up happening is we go on the Drow. Venge gets a swap off, and then tanking counter initiates.
And
And
then what's the other hero that you pick?
let me see.
If you just want to play it.
They ban out Monkey King. And we ban out TA. I think we play Razor here. Yeah, we play Razor for a kill. Kill safe
I
lane.
hate that pick actually. Yeah, you see the Dro,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just pick 3 heroes that can't jump the Dro.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem. Like, they presented to you an issue, and you did nothing to stop it.
Right.
And the Razor, and then the OD pick's really good because heroes kind of all suck against OD.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if Naga's good or bad, but everything else definitely sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Underlord's just terrible against him.
Yep.
Razor's pretty rough, I think. Actually, I think he is. See if he gets like BKB Halberd, you're kind of annoyed as OD. But yeah, I mean, you don't stop Dro.
How could we have picked something else other than the Razor? Like what else tries to get on top of the, like maybe a Jug Blink, and then go Naga Jug, or maybe Jug instead of Naga.
Yeah, it's weird because I think the Naga pick is like the start of the problem. Jakiro's kind of understandable because I mean it's your 5. There's not like you're not picking any 5 that gets on top of her.
Right.
I think ideally you swap the Snapfire to 5.
Okay.
Which I think is
right.
a better position anyway.
And then go for like
there's
Clockwork.
There's plenty of 4s that can jump her.
Bat Rider, Clockwork, Earthshaker, maybe.
Or even just like a nuker with a blink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I assume Rubik is banned, but if you play Shaman, that's probably workable.
Why would you go for the Shaman?
Well, if you play it, you want to play it, you just get blink. You just rush blink on that hero. Blink Hex.
But then won't you just get? Oh, but then you're using a swap. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no matter what you do, she's getting swapped. That's not changing.
Okay. I think I could have probably played like Clockwork, Bat Rider, maybe not Tiny.
It's okay. Even Nyx, maybe.
I like
it's a little
Nyx.
rough.
Yeah. I do like playing Nyx though. I could probably play Lion, Kunkka, no. Yeah, Clockwork, Bat Rider, Nyx seem like the best things I could play. And
There's not much jump. Quap maybe for the mid.
Oh.
The biggest thing is the cores, because the cores seem like the easiest ones.
Yeah.
Like if you're really set on playing 4 snap, like whatever, pick the jack, but then just pick cores that jump at least.
So like Quap Timber? No, we couldn't play Timber here, could we? Against the OD?
Well, you don't know the OD's coming.
Right.
You're picking a safe lane, right?
Yeah, safe laner. Because Nick wants to go Naga mid.
Most options are good. AM's pretty solid, honestly, if you can play AM. Ice is awkward. Because you don't... I mean, is he a carry player? Or no?
Kill?
Oh, is Kale playing?
Yeah.
I see. Let's see, what has Kale played? Kale hasn't played that much.
No,
That's kind of the awkward thing.
he
in
plays
LD2L.
most. He played like a bit of Terrorblade before.
Oh, it's his third most played hero.
Terrorblade.
I don't know. If he was okay with AM, I'd consider just picking AM. They have like no lockdown.
Yeah.
They have burst with the Sanking, which is annoying, but you'll get over it eventually.
Okay.
And then just pick a more active mid. Quap plus AM's awkward because they're both like kind of the same squishy piece of shit. But you like Sniper even? Sniper kind of outranges Dro for your mid. Although you're picking it into Sanking Avenge, which is awkward. I've already seen what happens to Nick Sniper against Avenge. I don't know. What are mid heroes?
King? Tiny?
No Void. Yeah, Tiny. If he wants to play Tiny, yeah, sure. The hero's a little dead as a core, but
Right.
it's fine. Even Kunkka's fine. If you have like a carry with jump like AM and you pick like a Kunkka mid,
Yeah.
X has really long range.
Right.
Like early game, you just run a Dro and you X her. And you can't save until after the X is over. So she's like almost guaranteed to get voted.
Okay.
And then you try and save her. But you also have to be out of boat range yourself. I don't know. Whatever next character, you just even Clinks maybe just sneak up on her and try and blow her up. Like you just needed anything that actually got on top of her. Like you just pick a ton of heroes that are awful against Dro.
Yeah.
It's like this is like a very classic outdrafting yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like Naga should be okay against Dro, I think. In theory.
Right.
She can't clear the illusions that great.
Right.
And you can get on top of her with Song, but I think there are better options. The thing with the Naga is that you also kind of force your carry to not be a real carry.
Yeah, because
it
she's
has to be
pretty much
kind of a weirder
controlling.
carry.
Yeah.
Because she's the pause one.
Mhm.
Naga's the pause one. So then you have to pick like an Ursa, I guess maybe would have been better. But they already have all the saves, so you're not like bursting her as an Ursa. Ricky, I guess, would have been pretty okay, but maybe awkward to lane against Sanking. Yeah, no, it just needed to be something.
Could we have gone for maybe a Bloodseeker on kill and maybe more active, or just keep Naga but then he wouldn't be able to farm.
You could try like Bloodseeker. Like if you get the song initiation and you rupture her, swapping her becomes a lot less
appealing.
Likeable.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some glaring issues with Nick not being able to play OD, TA, and yeah, pretty much that. Because OD, TA are very...
I think you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Those two heroes are kind of whatever.
But they open up like a lot of counterplays, right? Like if they pick something like an Underlord, then...
I mean, you just ban those two heroes and forget just pretend they don't exist.
Okay, so like Underlord, Drow.
All of this game, I definitely would have banned the OD over the TA. I don't think this TA ban was wholly necessary. OD's a lot. Like I kind of hold these heroes are like the same hero almost in my mind. I can't really think of TA without thinking of OD. Because they're both like these really annoying mid heroes, and I'm usually banning at least one of them out. Well, this was like way more of an OD ban than a TA ban, I think. Nice.
Puck couldn't have gone for the silence.
I don't know. I think for this Naga song thing to work, you kind of probably needed more burst.
Right, so maybe go
you
like...
can song on top of her, but then... you just kind of disengage.
So maybe go like...
And the Razor pick's just bad. Like, the Razor is not a good hero in this game.
Yeah, it's tough. Alright, I'll leave the game for your viewing pleasure because I've been told it's a very entertaining one just because it's so bad.
I have it downloaded, so I'll watch it later.
Okay, I guess I can...
Cool.
I'll try coming up earlier tomorrow, and then we can maybe do like maybe 1 or 2 practice drafts, and then try to look at Are you free right now?
No,
Or is it like a little
probably
bit late? Yeah.
Gary for bed, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. Alright.
Alright.
I got a lot of
Talk to you
notes.
later.
Thank you. It feels good like
Nice
going
chatting
over
with you.
the yeah, you too. Because I feel like really I want to like make sure that my team is playing the best possible game they can. And they feel comfortable, they feel like they can trust a draft. Because if they can't trust a draft, then it feels like they don't feel like they're willing to play as hard because they're not as comfortable with it. I feel that way on Emma's team. Like whatever Emma throws at me, I feel like I trust him enough to play it good. Like even like we just played against ET, Tree, and Chen, and we need, even though I was playing Shadow Demon, which is one of my least played heroes. I played it a little bit before, but other than like playing it SEA, I haven't touched it at all. So even though he put it on me, he said this is a good Shadow Demon game, so I trusted him completely, and I played it, and did pretty okay. And